Imundioma Negemonte. Hello and welcome to my African Village TV, your guide to the hidden treasures of Africa. In the late 19th century, a meeting took place that would shape the destiny of an entire continent. The Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885 set in motion events that continue to impact Africa and its people to this day.
When the Europeans colonized Africa, they cared about one thing above all else: profit. Whether it was gold from Guinea, rubber from the Congo, or diamonds from South Africa, the goal was to extract resources and send them back home. This focus on profitability led the European powers to hold the Berlin Conference, where Africa was divided between new and old colonial powers diplomatically to avoid any conflict between Europeans. What wasn't taken into account were the divisions among the Africans themselves. What this resulted in was cohesive nations like the Maasai being divided between English Kenya and German East Africa, what later became Tanzania. The bigger the nation was, the more divided it often became. The Yoruba nation, for example, with a population today of 44 million people, was split between English Nigeria, French West Africa, German Togoland, and the English Gold Coast directly north. The Hausa nation, with a population of 75 million today, was divided in half by English Nigeria and French West Africa, what eventually became Niger, both of which were partially included within the borders of modern-day Nigeria. Alongside the Igbo, another tribe of around 80 million people, whose traditional lands lie entirely within the country's borders.
For instance, I don't think any other tribe had suffered what Igbo had suffered. Because right inside Nigeria, we've been scattered. You're hearing the northern space, the south, the east, the west. In the south, you have Igbo. In the west, you have Igbo. In a part of the north, you have Igbo there. I mean, the entire region, they've been scattered. So when you're hearing me saying south, south, southeast, southwest, it always sounds like a song, but it's our sad reality. But the story doesn't end there. Across the Atlantic, another nation born of colonialism and struggle would face its own challenges: Haiti.
I am Toussaint Louverture. My name is perhaps known to you.
He was called the Black George Washington. He fought off 3 empires and enraged Napoleon. He championed liberty and égalité for all, Toussaint Louverture and the Haitian Revolution.
We explore the lasting effects of the Berlin Conference on Africa, the turbulent history of Haiti, and the complex relationship between these two regions. We'll explain how decisions made over a century ago still influence the lives of millions, and what can be done to chart a new course for the future. This is not just a tale of the past, but a call to action for the present. As we uncover the threads that connect historical events to current challenges, we invite you to consider your role in shaping a more just and equitable world. Let's talk about the Berlin Conference a little bit. We'll be back shortly. Let's talk about the Berlin Conference a little bit. In 1884, 14 European powers gathered in Berlin to carve up Africa. What is their goal? First, the conference, initiated by Otto von Bismarck of Germany, brought together nations eager to exploit Africa's wealth. Britain, France, Portugal, and Belgium were among the key players, each vying for their piece of the African pie. Over several months, these powers drew lines on maps, dividing territories with no regard to existing ethnic groups, cultures, or political structures. Well, the Berlin Conference ignored the rights and wishes of African people entirely. Not a single African was present at these discussions that would determine the continent's fate. This blatant disregard for African sovereignty set the stage for decades of exploitation and conflict. Pause for a moment. Think about this. No African leader was in this meeting at Berlin. No African citizen was represented. No African constituency was represented. Nothing of sort happened. I know a lot of you might say this is no news. We already know this. We are beginning to tell the stories for the upcoming generations. Now, how can you share, divide among a people that stood as one? They were one people. They never saw any difference between and amongst themselves. There were no such things as borders. Africa always remained one country, one nation with different tongues in tribes, one race, one people. And we have a message, hold on for it, to pass to the leaders of Africa. Let's shift our focus to Haiti a little bit, a nation with its own complex history of colonialism and struggle. Located in the Caribbean, Haiti occupies the western third of the island of Hispaniola. Before European arrival, the island was home to the Taino people. Christopher Columbus landing in 1492 marked the beginning of Spanish colonization. By the late 17th century, the western part of the island, now Haiti, had become a French colony known for its brutal plantation system. Back in 1791, an uprising began that would become the Haitian Revolution, led by former slaves like Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. This was the first and only successful slave revolt in history. On January 1st, 1804, Haiti declared independence, becoming the world's first black republic. However, ọ bụkwa nwanne anyị nwoke onye Igbo that led that revolution into becoming a success. Independence came at a heavy price. France demanded repatriations of lost property, including the slaves themselves. This crippling debt, which took over a century to repay, stunted Haiti's economic growth from the start. Post-independence, Haiti faced numerous challenges. Political instability, foreign interventions, and economic struggles became recurring themes. The new nation was isolated by slave-owning countries, fearful of its example, including the United States, which didn't recognize Haiti until 1862. These early challenges set the stage for Haiti's ongoing struggles, demonstrating how the legacy of colonialism and the fight for freedom can shape a nation's trajectory for generations. Today, my highlight for this video, however, is that we have dropped a video about Igbo in Haiti. And I've made a call to action in that video for everyone who know their history, who have been told who they are by their forefathers, to please come forward and speak up. And trust me, we have numerous messages and comments pouring in from Haiti. And I must salute all of you, our Haitian brothers and sisters, not just to the tribe of Igbos, but to other tribes who had been taken into the slavery at a certain time. Now, that what had been done here was not just to share us on the map or come down to place these artificial borders to divide us. And the cause of those videos that we are putting out is to encourage, is to dismantle the shackles of colonialism and the shackles of being uninformed. We must know that Africans are one race. I watched Wodemaya sometime. He dropped one of the videos they shot in Jamaica, and I'm hearing this lady, African descent, shouting.
So I wanted to ask Jamaicans what they think of Africa.
Africa, me not like African people. They like African. Why?
It was funny, people were laughing. But I sat back and I thought about this deeply, and I'm like, wow. Imagine an African shouting, me no like Africa. Why? Because of lack of information. And that is what brought me to the highlight of this video.
Fortuna juice is the taste of paradise. I got a drink that'll make you feel alive. Sipping on Fortuna juice, it's gonna take you high. Tropical flavor in every single drop. When you taste it, you won't wanna stop. It's like a burst of sunshine in a glass. Fortuna juice.
By the way, I pinned this particular comment, but I want us to see it together because it is something that kind of stood out to me. This is from our brother, Marcel Georges. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. Okay, whilst I'm not gonna read all that he has said, but I encourage you to see that comment. It's quite long, but it's amazing, and I learned something from here. Down to this comment, I got hooked on it. He went ahead to say, you can be ashamed of that fact, that's understandable, but you can also be apologetic. That will suffice to us because we love you, and you remain our brothers and sisters regardless. But to deny us of our Africanism is seriously hurtful. For example, this is where I'm headed. Listen very attentively. The Haitian government, under the leadership of the beloved deceased President Jovenel Moïse, had requested the inclusion of Haiti into the African Union, for which Haiti was denied entry. Pause again and think about this for a moment. Reason that they gave was because Haiti is too far from the continent of Africa. He exclaimed, that is a big old shame on African Union as well as the entire continent of Africa. That's a shame. And I totally agree with him. He went ahead to make his point. He said America is not located in Europe. But rest assured, it is in the European Union one way or another. America is a member of NATO. Does the European Union claim that America is too far to be included in these European organizations? Why does the African Union reject Haiti on the basis that it's too far from the continent of Africa? I wonder if England, US, Russia, China, Israel wanted to be included in African Union if they would also be denied. Raw truth right there. First of all, I want to say, Brother Marcel Georges, on behalf of Africans in the continent of Africa, we are sorry and we are also ashamed of us of homeschooling American kids from American curriculum. And I tell you, those were the worst nightmares of my life. I had to call my dad, who was still alive. He didn't even know half of this history. I get emotional each time I recall this memory because it's so hard for me as an African who is civilized and well-read to learn my own history from a 6th grade history lessons. It's hard to deal with. I'm teaching the kids. They didn't know that I was teaching myself. Trust me, after each class, I had to go to my room and give myself a good cry. Miss Splendor, your face is all red. Did you cry? I'll be like, no, I'm fine. Lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson. For months, I was traumatized, learning about myself from American curriculum. Umunnem no umunnem, ibunjoma nege munte. Listen and listen good. It's time, wherever you are, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again, to teach your children. Bring them on this platform. For those of you who did that already, God bless you. Let them learn about who they are. How can we be the most amazing people on this planet and yet zero knowledge about our roots, about who we are, about where we came from, about us as a people? It's shameful. Back to the concept of using us against us. This goes to the AU, the African leaders. I'm not mentioning anybody's. Continue to identify with the Western world and have nothing to do with Africa. The therapy we need at this point of our lives is good governance, is good leadership. The leadership that thinks about the people, the leadership that have the interest of the people at heart. Not to cause further divisions by putting on borders upon borders upon borders upon borders. I don't know if I can stop talking about this, but I'm gonna wrap up this video right here. Maybe we continue in the next episode. And mind you, with all that we've all been through, it's been 400 years plus and counting. Africa will reunite someday. I believe that's so strong. And as we are moving into this phase and era of enlightenment for the African citizens, stay connected. Watch out for this space. Share your thoughts in the comment section. And see you guys in the next video. Until then, akapokwa mwado no splendor ngozi. Bye for now.